πολύ δείχνουν να αφορούν οι ελληνικές ταινίες στον τόπιο κοινό. Ο εχθρός μου άνοιξε με 5.000 εισιτήρια στο πρώτο του τετραήμερο. Μιλάμε περί ολέθρου για 29 κινηματογράφους. Τουλάχιστον το Miss Violence δεν μπορείς να πεις ότι καταποντίστηκε, φτάνοντας στα 8.000 εισιτήρια από 5 αίθουσες, το οποίο αναλογικά κάπως σώζεται. Αλλά όσοι κόπτονται για την ελληνική παραγωγή, ας λάβουν αυτό το μήνυμα. Αν συνεχίσετε να βγάζετε μονάχα φεστιβαλικά προϊόντα προς εξαγωγή, weird or not, να ξέρετε πως το κοινό που αφήνετε πίσω δεν θα επιστρέψει ποτέ ξανά στο ελληνικό σινεμά. Και δόξα και χρήμα δεν παίζει.
It's 40 years since this LP called Cold Fact by Rodriguez was released. And in South Africa, it was a very popular album. It was one of the biggest albums of the day. But the thing was, we didn't know who this guy was. All our other rock stars, we had all the information we needed. But this guy, it was nothing. And then we found out that he had committed suicide. He set himself alight on stage and burned to death in front of the audience. It was the most incredible thing. It wasn't just a suicide, it was probably the most grotesque suicide in rock history.
Δισκοπόλης του Cape Town και μουσικός δημοσιογράφος, οπαδί άσημου έθνη κρίζας, folk κιθαρίστα συνθέτη λαιμού των πρώιμων 70's στο Detroit, ψάχνουν τα ίχνη του αρχίζοντας από label στη χώρα του Μαντέλα, που είχε βγάλει μύρια στην πλάτη του και φτάνοντας ως την Motown. Τι μέρος του λόγου ήταν, τι απέγινε, γιατί τα δύο σπουδαία LP του έσκησαν στη Νότια Αφρική μόνο παρά τις κριτικές, μπορεί να παίξει αναδρομικά ανκόρ για τη μούσα την alt άσβεστη του χτες. Όσκαρ και όχι Γκράμι στο ψάχνοντας τον Sugarman, ο Σουηδός Μαλίκ Μπεντζελούλ βγάζει και ηχοτηλεορασίτσα, αλλά μιας και ενορχιστρώνει ως μυστήριο και παραμύθι την περιπέτεια του Σίξτο Ροντρίγκεζ, μελωδεί στο ντοκιμαντέρ του Ενίγματος και της ανακάλυψης της ζωής του, που οι φαν του καλού ξένου ρεπερτορίου παίζουν Αγγελική Νικολούλη, έχεις πακέτο uncut. Κουπλέ, ρεφρέν, ρεζουμέ, γρίφου. Ως το τώρα, μελωδί με ακομπανιαμέντο τη στοική στάση ζωής του καλλιτέχνη, με σέσιον τους ψάχτες του, τους έμπορες του ταλέντου του, τις κόρες του, τους φίλους και συναδέλφους της πλέμπας, το λαό των Αφρικάνερς και των μαύρων που θυμούνται και στο τέλος ξαναβιώνουν. Το εξώφυλλο είναι μικρή οθόνη, στην B-side της μυθοπλασίας στο ακόρτο Γκόνι, θα την ακούσεις όμως και ως άνθρωπος και ψάχνοντας τον Sugarman, τη βρίσκεις μουσικά φιλμολογικά. Σιγόντερε κι εσύ, τον είναι σπάνιο, αλλά συμβαίνει δικαιωμένο χαμηλών τόνων τύπα, που υπό το φως του προβολέα πια τραγουδά.
If I had to name 10 artists that I've ever been involved with, Rugby used to be in the top 5.
He's my most memorable artist.
Bob Dylan was mild to this guy.
He was this wandering spirit around the city. When he opened up and sang, he went, whoa, this guy's got it.
We expected big things, and it did absolutely nothing. How many records do you think he sold in America?
In America, 6.
Nobody had even heard of him. How can that be? How can that be?
It's a bit of a mystery how the first copy of Cold Fact came to South Africa, but to us, it was one of the most famous records of all time. He was the soundtrack to our lives.
Bigger than Elvis.
Much bigger than Rolling Stones.
Any revolution needs an anthem.
The message it had was be anti-establishment. The first opposition to apartheid, they were influenced by Rodriguez.
Nobody knew anything about him. He was a mystery.
Then we found out that he had committed suicide.
The story differs a lot, and a lot of people have different versions of the story.
He set himself alight on stage.
He reached down and pulled up a gun and pulled the trigger. I thought it'd make a good story, find out how Rodriguez died.
So we started looking quite deeply at the lyrics.
And one day, just by accident, I found it. What I thought was the end of story was actually just the beginning, and the best part was still to come.
said wanted, and have you seen this man? Matter of fact, I have seen him before.
Sounds like something you would make up if you were bragging on some dream or something.
It didn't work out, but don't ever doubt how.
He's like a wise man, a prophet, way beyond just being a musical artist.
He had this kind of magical quality that all genuine poets and artists have. I think he's representative of the human spirit, of what's possible.
This is all too strange to be true. These are the days of miracles and wonder.
After all this time, now you come to visit me, brother. Why? To mock.
I need your help. But I wish I could trust you.
If you did, you'd be the fool I always took you for.
Some believe that before the universe, there was nothing. They're wrong. There was darkness, and it has survived.
What's gonna happen?
I gave you my word. I would return for you.
You face an enemy, known only to a few.
Known only to one.
You must be truly desperate to come to me for help.
If we do nothing, they will destroy us.
You even think about betraying him.
And I'll kill you. That was from New York.
I like her.
Thor, your bravery will not ease your pain. Your family, your world will be extinguished.
We're running out of time.
The very fabric of reality will be torn apart.
I'll find a way to save us all.
All yours.
Anyone else?
Ενώ ο Θόρ γίνεται μάγκας πολεμώντας για ειρήνη στα 9 βασίλεια, αλλού εμπειρία της Τζέιν τη φορτίζει με ενέργεια καταχθόνια παλιακή, προτού ο Ξανθός Θεός την πάρει στον πλανήτη του. Προαιώνιοι οι νικημένοι τους εχθροί επελάβουν ξανά. Ο μπαμπάς ο Όντιν αλιχτά, τον μουλοχτό φυλακόβιο Λόκι θα επιστρατεύσει, μπας και τους τζάσει οριστικά. Αστρική ευθυγράμμιση και η κολλητή της επιστήμονος προκαλούν χαλασμό, αλλά αγγλικά. Θόρ 2, σκοτεινός κόσμος, είναι λίγο επεισόδιο 2, λίγο και τιτανομαχία, αλλά σηκώνει το σφυρί του μαλλιά της Marvel ο Alan Taylor του Game of Thrones, σε αυτή τη δεύτερη εξωσυμπαντικά εθνικά και για τους γήινους και βεβαίως ρομαντικά, άνδραγαθηματική σωστικά συνέχεια της κόμικ περιπέτειας φαντασίας, που τώρα ενσκύπτει πιο δυσίωνα, άραχνη, σάγκα φάση, δεν την έχουν μοιραία όμως κατευνάσει. Το φλού του mashup εθέρα λεγάμενης, το αγνώριστο του Έγκλστον, το ανύπαρκτο του Ασάνο και το βγάλσιμο της μάσκας του επιλόγου, γιατί ρίχνουν κεραυνούς. Το κάτι άλλο ξανά της Ντένινγκς, ως μπίου κομίκας, θα γουστάρετε πολύ την τρόικα ντου μαύρων ξωτικών, εξέγερση φυλακών, κηδεία στο παλάτι, συναρπάζει το σε 2 σύμπανταμπές βιές του ζευγαριού, τώρα διαλάνε μέρη στυλ Stonehenge, Greenwich, Λονδίνο, τα εφέ και τα καρεδάκια έκπληξη με τον Captain America είναι βέβαια άπεχτα, ο Thor 2 φορές και στον σκοτεινό κόσμο βαράει καλά. Αρχοντικό ψυχαγωγικά.
After all this time, now you come to visit me, brother. Why?
In the wake of Avengers, Loki is lost, struggling to find a place within the family, struggling to find a place within the universe. It's that part of him which Thor appeals to.
I need your help, but I wish I could trust you.
If you did, you'd be the fool I always took you for.
In this film, Thor needs Loki, so it's an interesting dynamic.
Thor is basically bringing him back from the brink, re-recruiting him as Thor's brother and Thor's wingman, in a way.
We face an enemy, known only to a few, known only to one. If we do nothing, they will destroy us.
Conflict between brother and brother
is one of the main engines of the Thor movies.
You know, they can't stand each other, but they love each other and they need each other. It's just, you know, typical brothers, but heightened.
You should know that when you betray me, I will kill you.
When do we start?
He's the villain, but we kind of love him, you know, and I think anytime we can do that, it makes it so much more interesting.
There's a fun in watching Thor having to collaborate with someone that is probably the least trustworthy creature in the universe.
He's someone who knows his true nature and is having a really good time.
That was from New York.
I like her.
We need to be true to just how unpredictable and perverse this character is, but we have to take him somewhere we haven't seen him before.
Loki's kind of walking the line where you don't quite know which side's you're going to fall to.
The son of Odin, born to be a king. You must be truly desperate to come to me for help.
Ιταλός τραγουδοποιός που έχει πάθει πλάκα με το ρεμπέτικο, Αθήνα τριγυρνάει, με ντόπιους για το είδος και τη σύγχρονη Ελλάδα μιλάει και να παίζουν σεμνά σε στέκια κοιτάει. Και μετά κι αυτός στα Ιταλικά και άμα λάχει και στα Ελληνικά, άσμα χτυπάει. Θα στοχαστεί, θα τζαμάρει, θα στροφάρει, ενώ η κάμερα του Αντρέα Σέγκρε φιλμάρει στο Ιντέμπιτο μία τουρνέ στα ρωμαϊκά μπλουζ του Βινίσιο Καποσέλα, που πλαισιώνει κέρια τις εμφανίσεις του αυτές τις μέρες στην Ψωροκόστενα και ένα δίσκο με νεοπενιές. Η ετυμολογία τουρκική ή ελληνική, το απτάλικο της σμυρναϊκής κληρονομιάς της τότε ανθρωπιστικής και οικονομικής κρίσης, το λιμάνι και ο υπόκοσμος του Πειραιά, η λογοκρισία του Μεταξά, τι κόμισαν ο Μάρκος και ο Τσιτσάνης, το τρίχορδο αρχείο συνεντεύξεις και σκοπή ρίχνει έβυχα ταξίμια στα ιστορικά της μουσικούλας, ενώ υπόγεια τα μακάμια της αλήθειας που βγαίνει και από το κατακάθι της μαγκιάς ως αξιοπρέπειας του μινόρεως επανάστασης περνάνε από την ταβέρνα. Στην υγειά μας βρε παιδιά, λίγο η κατάσταση, η γύρασε γιατί κουλέ βαρβάκι ψήρι μουσείο της Ακρόπολης πριν φτάσει ως την Κρήτη για να παίξει ο Ψαραντώνης, λίγο αλανιάρα, μερακλώνης όμως. Όταν η Φραγκοσυριανή διασκευάζεται δίγλωσσα, η Κέτι Ντάλι λέει τη Μισιρλού ότι μολέοντας μιλάει για το 45 του, διαπολιτιστικά δηλαδή δεν χρεοκοπεί των μακαρονάδων το Ιντέμπιτο. Καλή η pop, αλλά μη μείνεις μπαγλαμάς.
Έτυχε να με γεννήσεις και ζωή να μου χαρίσεις στο πιο δύσκολο καιρό, μάνα που ζω.
Quale ribellione mi accese subito nel cuore questa musica. Rebetico si chiama, rebet, dal turco ribelle.
Οι ρεμπέτες ήταν άνθρωποι που ζούσαν στο κοινωνικό περιθώριο, ήταν άνθρωποι που ήταν κυνηγημένοι.
Ήταν πάνω φτωχοί και πεθάναν φτωχοί και κάναν πολιτισμό. Και τα τραγούδια τους αντέξαν 80 χρόνια και 100 χρόνια.
Θα έπρεπε οι άνθρωποι να είναι πιο πάνω από τις αγορές. Αυτή τη στιγμή οι αγορές είναι πιο πάνω από τους ανθρώπους.
Φτωχό μας στο μυαλό και το συναίσθημα, υποτίθεται ότι αντιστεκόμαστε, αλλά είναι το μετερίζει μας που λένε.
με χωρίς αγκαλιά.
Λεφτάς νέος δικηγόρος προημενέου με ψυχούλες συμφωνεί με ιδιοκτήτη κλαμπ που τραβιέται με ξανθιά ανώμαλη και άλλον κουλάτο μεσάζοντα να φέρνουν με βιτίο αποβλήτων ντόπα τρελή από Μεξικό. Το πρώτο φορτίο θα πάει σήκωτο και συγκυρία με μηχανόβιο γιο κρατούμενης θα φορτώσει στο Γιάνκι Κούγια τον Σταυρό. Δεν θα πληρώσει όμως μόνο ο συνήγορος. Η πρώτη εκπροσώπηση του Κόρμακ «Καμία πατρίδα για τους μελοθάνατους» Μακκάρθι ως πρωτότυπου σεναρίστα είναι πότε εγκληματικά εθιστική, πότε για γέλια, μη σου πω και σπαστική. Ομοίως και η κρυψώνα του Ρίτλεϊ Σκοτ πίσω από μια συναυτουργία τράφικ και σκότωσέ τους γλυκά. Σπουδή στο τιμωρητικό τίμημα του νέου αμοραλισμού και της απληστίας της βασανιστικά θνητής. Ως χρονικό χιονοστιβαδικής επιπροσωπικού ημιστραβής κατόπιν επί δύο αρπαχτής προδοτικής σφήνας σε σχέδιο ουσιών συνειδήσεων εμπορίας φωνικής. Τελεία. Κακή ο Φασμπέντερ Σαλιάρης σε τρέμουλο, ο Πιτπουλ Μουρνότιος και η Ντίας στο δεύτερο πιο διάσημο σπαγκάτο της σεζόν, η σεκάνς τηλεφωνικού σεξ και τα φλιναφήματα φιλοσοφικού λέγειν των κακών, θα πάθεις όμως με τους άγριους φόνους, μπλάδες Μπαρδέμ Πέρες είναι just και εκπυρσοκροτήσεις χιούμορ πολυσένιες. Σναφ θρησκεία καρτέλ πόλεμος των φίλων Κισμέτ, δεν τα παντελονιάζουν όλα, όμως σοβαρά ως συμμορία όπως θα έπρεπε. Το αυτό και ο συνήγορος. Να υπερασπιστεί τα δικά σου συμφέροντα, είπαμε, όχι τα αχόρταγα δικά του.
Life is being in bed with you. Everything else is just waiting. Will you?
Yes, I will.
I intend to love you until I die.
Me first.
Counselor!
My back's against the wall, man.
Money problems are serious problems. I will set it up.
625 kilos. We're probably looking at 20 million.
I know why I'm in it. Do you?
It's a nice ring. Want to know how much it's worth?
I always thought a law degree was a license to steal, but you hadn't really capitalized on it.
I'm really worried, baby.
It's gonna be all right.
If you pursue this road that you've embarked upon, you will eventually come to moral decisions that will take you completely by surprise.
You should be careful what you wish for.
You might not get it.
Counselor, we've got a problem.
The shipment, it's gone.
I had a call from our business partners. These people are out 20 mil.
They think we're all involved, don't they?
No, just you, Counselor. You. They don't believe in coincidences. They've heard of them. They've just never seen one.
You're in trouble.
Sugar man, won't you hurry? 'Cause I'm tired of these scenes. For a blue coin,
Το πιο hot νέο τρέιλερ αυτών των ημερών μας έκανε μουσκεμα, όχι μεταφορικά. Ύστερα από κάμποσα προβλήματα στα γυρίσματα, τυπικό για Ντάρεν Αρονόφσκι, ειδικά αν θυμηθεί κανείς τι έγινε με το The Fountain, και ακολουθώντας κάποια teasers δευτερολέπτων, κατέφθασε ως παλιροϊκό κύμα το πρώτο μεγαλοπρόμο του Νόε, με τον Ράσελ Κρόου στον ομώνυμο ρόλο να την έχει ακούσει από ψηλά και να στείνει τη γνωστή κυβωτό για να σώσει την οικογένειά του και μερικά ζωάκια τύπου την πλάση όλη. Οι εικόνες είναι εντυπωσιακές. Αυτό που μένει να δούμε ως το Μάρτιο του 2014 είναι και το ερώτημα αν τούτο εδώ θα έχει κάτι παραπάνω να μας δώσει από ένα φιλμ του Ρόλαντ Έμεριχ, για παράδειγμα.
No. What did he say?
He's going to destroy the world. Can it not be averted?
Man corrupted this world and filled it with violence. So we must be destroyed.
A great flood is coming. We build a vessel to hold the innocent.
Mama! What is... Them!
What do you want? Did you really think you could protect yourself from me in that? It's not protection from you. I have men at my back, and you stand alone and defy me. I'm not alone. When they come, they will be desperate and there will be many.
Snakes are coming too?
All that crawls, all that slithers.
Remember, Noah, he chose you for a reason.
Take the ark!
Choice was in your hands, Noah.
It begins.
Αν ρωτάς και εμένα, το ακόμη πιο hot trailer που έπαιξε τελευταία ήταν το δεύτερο πρόμο του sequel του Anchorman του Adam McKay με τον θρυλικό Ron Burgundy να συνεχίζει να σπέρνει στη Νέα Υόρκη των 70s, επιχειρώντας να βγάλει στον αέρα το πρώτο ειδησεογραφικό κανάλι, το οποίο θα εκπέμπει 24 ώρες στο 24ωρο. Από τα γυρίσματα έχουμε καταλάβει πως το φιλμ περιλαμβάνει ξανά σκηνή μονομαχίας στους δρόμους, άρα μιλάμε από τώρα για επική καφρίλα. Αν δεν είσαι υποψιασμένος, τσέκαρε το τρέιλερ, μην το περιμένεις από τα μέρη μας, από 20 Δεκέμβρη στα States και κλάψε και με την είδηση πως ο McKay έχει στα χέρια του τόσο υλικό από outtakes, ώστε να μοντάρει και alternative version.
Welcome to News Afternoon, the first television news of the day.
There was a time when news was a noble trade, built on a foundation of journalistic integrity. But then it became salacious and just plain stupid.
Police confront a man with more pussy than he knows what to do with.
All thanks to one visionary news team.
Good evening. Tonight's top story is crack. I understand we have some crack and we're going to smoke it right here in the studio. Oh, whoa, whoa. You feel that right away. It's just refreshing.
Mr. Burgundy, you are the worst anchorman I have ever seen. Aren't you the guy who lost his job to his wife?
Tonight, I interview Yasser Arafat.
Why do we have to tell the people what they need to hear? Why can't the news be fun? Yay!
While some experts say silicone breast implants are dangerous, I say, bring on the fun bags.
Our ratings went through the roof. Turn it off! You're a success!
You're not black or Asian. What are you?
I'm gay.
Do you sleep in a coffin?
No, that's vampires.
Are you allowed to be out in the sun?
Those are also vampires.
Are you a vampire?
No, I'm gay.
Who's hungry for some chimichangas?
Best thing I ever did was install this deep fryer in the Bago.
Hey, who's driving? It's okay. It's on cruise control.
He says we're all gonna die.
Oh, no!
Where's my map?
Look at the monitor.
Yeah.
Where's my legs? I don't have any legs, Ron.
Brick, it's because you're wearing green pants.
In 93!
Brick?
93! I have a date.
We need to get you a little protection. Brian Fantana's world-famous Jimmy cabinet.
See any you like?
The responsible pirate? Leave it to Beaver.
I know, Brian. What about the hooded guest?
I've had 4 of my 7 illegitimate children using this condom.
But, Brian, isn't that the whole point of wearing a condom? To not
Impregnate the woman? Well, you know the old expression. Nope.
Ήταν το κινηματογραφικό γεγονός του ελληνικού καλοκαιριού. Ατυχώς, η πρεμιέρα του συνέπεσε με κάτι μαύρο στις οθόνες των καναλιών της ΕΡΤ. Οι συντελεστές του επέστρεψαν εκείνες τις μέρες στην Ελλάδα για να παραστούν στην επίσημη, να δώσουν συνεντεύξεις και να συμπληρώσουν μερικές μέρες διακοπών στην Πελοπόννησο, όπου έγιναν και τα γυρίσματα του πριν τα μεσάνυχτα. Αυτή τη φορά ουχή τραγουδώντας όπως Μάμα Μία, με ελάχιστες δόσεις κουλέρ λοκάλ, αλλά με το καλύτερο σενάριο που συντρόφευσε ποτέ στη μεγάλη οθόνη την τριλογία του Τζέσι και της Σελίν. Ο Ρίτσαρντ Λινκλέιτερ, ο Ίθαν Χοκ και η Ζιλί Ντελπί θα μας πούν όσα θα ήθελες να ξέρεις για αυτήν τους την εμπειρία, που σίγουρα θα τους φέρει στην υποψηφιότητα για το Όσκαρ πρωτότυπου σεναρίου του χρόνου. Το πριν τα μεσάνυχτα κυκλοφορεί πλέον σε DVD και Blu-ray από την εταιρεία Feel Good και στο τέλος της εκπομπής θα μάθεις και πώς μπορείς να το αποκτήσεις. Did you ever imagine back in 1995 that Jesse and Celine would grow old together on screen?
That year we could have never imagined.
Never, ever.
But we did have a very special time in Vienna together back in 94.
We had a good experience working together, but I for some reason, I vividly remember the rap party of that, and I don't think I would have ever have thought. Well, you were just so stoned, but I don't think any of us would. If you told us we'd be 18 years later, we'd be sitting together, in Greece, it would have seemed like science fiction.
Yeah, it was not a plan. You don't plan.
You know, if someone had told me that, I'd be like,
I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah, exactly.
I know people who utterly love your heroes and some who really hated what you did, because this trilogy reminds them that time goes by. It's not a teen love anymore, it's a couple of parents in their 40s. Is it painful in a way? What would you say to those people who feel like this?
It's better to be in your 40s than to not be at all.
Yeah, you don't have a choice, you know.
You know, to keep young love, you know, Romeo and Juliet stayed Romeo and Juliet because they died. Let's face it. Yeah. Otherwise, they would have aged and argued.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember...
It happens.
It happens.
I remember one person saying to me on the... People really, even while we were filming it, some people of the crew were upset that Jesse and Celine had to have disagreements and get caught in the tedious part of life because they wanted them to be forever like Jack and Rose from Titanic or something. Just some kind of perfect idea.
You know, one moment in their
But,
life.
you know, I mean, it's just, it has to do with your own relationship to life and whether you idealize your youth or whether you idealize learning and growing older. I mean, it's like...
I mean, I personally think that to be depressed by the idea of getting older is because you're depressed in overall. I mean, like, to idealize youth and not living in the moment of getting in your 40s and 50s, it's because you have some kind of depression.
The overwhelming
I mean,
response...
it is a sign of depression. I'm going back again.
You sound like your character.
Like my character in the film.
But the overwhelming response of people who know the other two films is they like this one the most.
The most, yeah.
Because I think it shows a more hard-earned, but very real romance.
It's less romantic projection and more
what it's like. And it gives them hope because most movies tell you that your life isn't as good as the movies. 40s, and this one says your life's not that unlike. You know, others have gone down this path many times.
Yeah, the hardship of life is like, you know, it's a reality for everyone. And it's not the end of the world either.
You can look at it in romantic terms. You really can, just to be here and have the chance.
At least I feel the characters are connected, you know. I think it would be, to me, the film would be depressing if it was two people that have no connection at all anymore. Like, you know, arguing, I'm not sure is that bad. I mean, I've seen my parents being together for 40 years, arguing every day of their life. You know, it's that kind of argument. You know what I mean? And
that shows that they're still connected.
They're still connected.
If she's arguing and he's reading the paper and not talking, that's probably
or
bad.
If she's cooking and he's reading the paper and no one's talking, that's a problem.
I read the paper.
If he's cooking and she's reading the paper, it's better.
If I'm cooking, it's a problem for everyone.
Why did you choose to bring Jesse and Celine back as parents or even a couple together with a relationship that survived after all these years?
Well, it seemed a mistake. We did 2 films about people missing and people living in fantasy and romantic hopes and projections. And it seemed like to do it a 3rd time would be a stunt or a trick. And that what we had to challenge ourselves as writers, what would be new for us, is to explore what happens if Jesse and Celine get what they want. You know, that's a more interesting film for us to try to write because we've written the other. So on a very simple level, it's just that.
It seemed honest and age appropriate too. It's less likely in your early 40s that you would have these, you know, given their history, that we had to dig into their lives together.
I mean, it would be, how ridiculous would it be that, you know, they meet again by accident 9 years later?
No one would believe that.
I mean, it's like the second time they meet, unlike the first time, no matter what, they would have exchanged phone number, they would have, you know, kept in contact, no matter what happens after it fades to black on the second film. So this one wouldn't be about like some kind of, you know, reconnection or something like that. It would have to be, you know, and it felt, true.
It was appropriate. It's what we were all thinking. So.
But it's the hardest thing to approach,
too,
which is like getting, you know, it's almost like, I was saying that earlier, like it's almost a taboo in romantic comedy to catch people in the middle of their relationship. You know, in a.
That's the boring part.
It's the boring part. It's like you don't, you know.
There's nothing to say there. It's just people living their lives, you know. So.
It's probably one of the in the list of like Hollywood
to avoid.
You know, like interracial relationship. You have like relationship in the middle of it. You know, like you must have a list. They probably have a list since they have no brain. They probably need the list. Like, you know, this.
I
is
have no brain.
forbidden
I need a list.
You could be a studio head.
I know.
The biggest fight between them in Before Midnight comes when they try to have sex. Stereotype, sarcasm, or what?
They're like cats, you know, you can't tell if they're
in pain or enjoying
it. The funny thing about, here's the funny thing about your question is just that everything with male-female dynamic could fit that. Stereotype, cliche, reality. I mean, people have been talking about romantic love forever. And it's not new material. And every cliche is rooted in some way that we really do behave. And the trick is, if you do it well, it's archetypal. And if you do it badly, it's cliche, you know?
The narrative style is a little different this time. It's just 4 or 5 long sequences, actually. It must have been hard for Ethan and Julie. Still, it feels so real and honest. Were they allowed to improvise during filming?
Allowed really does make us sound like children.
Allowed. Well,
we're not allowed anything.
Yes, the rules. We were certainly going for a reality that you could never get. We couldn't get through improvisation. So no, it's actually the boring answer is it's a lot of hard work, you know. Rehearsing,
writing again,
extreme rehearsal time, and workshopping, shooting. It's just to create this thing that seems so natural and real is obviously a huge cinematic construct. So that was the demands of this particular movie, but you know, you couldn't do that with just any movie or any actors. It's Ethan and Julie can do this, so we play to their strengths, their abilities. You know, I wouldn't do this, we wouldn't attempt this on certain things. So, and it plays to the reality of them, their characters. So, yeah, but it is narratively different. The last movie was real time, you know, there in Paris. So this spreads out over an afternoon and evening. But it is these, you know, lengthier scenes. But, you know, again, it's even more realistic in a strange way.
I mean, I think to achieve that sensation of like flawlessness and like feels very natural and stuff, it's just behind it like, you know, we write, then we rehearse, then we feel if what we've written sounds written, then we rewrite it, then we rehearse again, we rewrite it, then we log the screenplay when we feel it's as natural as possible. And then we spend a lot of time rehearsing until
lines.
it seems...
It's interesting to see that people tend to forget the actual second appearance of Jesse and Celine in Waking Life. In continuity terms, was that their second time really?
No, because
in a dream life.
You could argue that's in a dream state. So that one's a little asterisk, a footnote to the Jesse and Celine. But that is special to the three of us because when Ethan and Julie and I worked on that, at the end of that, we decided we're a band, you know, the band should get back together and put out a new album or something. We felt
had so much fun doing that little scene in Waking Life.
Just being around each other again reminded us,
Even though you brought your boyfriend.
What did you learn about this country while in production of Before Midnight?
So
about
much.
About this country
about
here?
Greece, yes.
About Greece.
I had been here once before. I'd been here, I did a performance in Epidavros, and I had an amazing time just with the Greek people, and it was a brief experience, but you just kind of saw the appreciation for theater, this 12,000 seat theater, and the way people came and supported us. I knew it was a special place. Athena was in Slacker, right? And so you had some friends here.
Rahil Sangari was a friend of mine, and Christos Konstantakopoulos, the producer, and it just felt like a very accommodating, very open place to make a movie. We had a great crew. Feels like
amazing.
A Greek movie.
I mean, the shoot truly was amazing, like of you know, professional, like.
But what are the things that probably you learned this time, living for days and weeks in Greece?
I mean, what did we learn about Greece? I don't know. I mean,
it's hard to put it in a sentence.
It just like, I mean, to me, it amazed me how, you know, I mean, I really liked the people the people we were working with. Like, I felt connected to them so much. Like, at the end of the shoot, they called me Delpinopoulou. They thought I should be Greek. So I really, you know, maybe being French, European, I mean, I really connected. I don't know. It was very, a lot of fun, you know. I don't know. I felt very close to people here. I don't know. I can't.
Yeah, I think we all did. We all did. It's quite an experience. It's a lot different working somewhere, making a movie, than it is just being a visitor. So we had the full experience, and you learn the history, but then you really absorb we really felt we got to know.
And would you feel comfortable to see an amour version of your characters on the big screen in the future?
Well, that's
that was
5
a joke.
cycles, and the joke is we would make a comedic version
of amour. Yeah.
These guys would have something.
Pratfalls and like, you know,
it'll be very funny.
Jokes, banana peels.
And my character would be convinced she's dying, but she's not.
She's gonna live forever.
She's just be having panic attacks, like, I'm dying, but won't be dying at all.
And how did you two meet?
We met about 18 years ago. We kind of, sort of fell in love. And a decade later, we ran into each other.
No. You wrote a book, and I read about it and went to look for it. Oh, that's pretty romantic.
If we're meeting for the first time today on a train, would you start talking to me? Would you ask me to get off the train with you?
Of course.
This place is so full of thousands of years of myth and tragedy, and I thought something tragic was going to happen. Still there. Still there. Gone. You never stop ogling girls.
I don't ogle girls. I make love to them with my eyes.
Oh, wow. I'm stuck with an American teenager. I feel close to you.
Yeah.
But sometimes, I don't know, I feel like you're breathing helium and I'm breathing oxygen.
What makes you say that?
I wanted you to say something romantic and you okay?
You are the mayor of Crazy Town. Do you know that? You are.
This is how people start breaking up.
Oh, my God. I assure you, that guy you vaguely remember, the sweet romantic one that you met on a train, that is me.
Θέλεις να ολοκληρώσεις τη συλλογή των ερωτικών παθημάτων του Τζέσι και της Σελίν ανά τις δεκαετίες που τραβολογιούνται? Μπες κατά τη διάρκεια των επόμενων ημερών στο freecinema.gr και ακολούθησε το διαγωνισμό για να κερδίσεις το πριν τα μεσάνυχτα σε DVD ή Blu-ray. Μπες και στον κόσμο του ΟΤΕ TV για να παρακολουθήσεις μεγάλες κινηματογραφικές πρεμιέρες από την καλύτερη συνδρομητική πλατφόρμα όπως το The Great Gatsby ή το Wolverine. Και μη μου γυρνάς σε μένα την πλάτη με το εντυπωσιακό Super Cut Video του Ζακ Προύιτ, ένα από τα πιο αγαπημένα μας στο freecinema.gr, με δεκάδες αποσπάσματα υποκειμενικών πλάνων του θεατή απέναντι σε κινηματογραφικές εικόνες μεγαλείου υπό την υπόκρουση του classic God Moving Over the Face of the Waters από τον Moby. Κάτι σαν προσδεθείτε εδώ ταιριάζει.